Hi guys, I'm SJ. I have recently lost a lot of weight and I kind of transformed, I guess, my body in a really short space of time after having my third baby. I don't find it that easy to talk about weight. I'm just gonna say it's a very personal topic and I kind of feel like nervous to talk about it, but I've been sharing a bit on my Instagram stories, a bit less than my normal Instagram, because I kind of wanted to, I have to almost take the pictures of myself to kind of show myself how much I've been losing, and I don't really quite recognise it yet, but I'm feeling really reflective because I've not only hit like a massive milestone in terms of my weight loss, but it's kind of like, I guess a lot of stuff has happened during the weight loss as well in a very short amount of time, but also before that to kind of trigger me feeling strong enough to start and to try to transform things, and there was a reason why I wanted to do that. So yeah, here it is. If you're new to my channel, then I would really appreciate you subscribing, to follow along and commenting below. Say hi, let me know who you are, because I love just building this community here on YouTube. It's helped me a lot with my kind of weight and my transformation, and just being honest with people online. Sometimes it's a bit easier than in real life. Talk to your real friends about your weight sometimes is awkward. So yes, hello, subscribe, I will speak to you in the comments. So I guess after I had Evelina, who's my third baby, the body I was left with just felt very huge. Like my breasts were huge, and I was breastfeeding, which I was so proud of, but my breasts and my back were just ginormous and heavy, uncomfortable, you know, like nothing would do up and fit, and I felt that they stopped everything else from clothes from looking good on me. My stomach just didn't go anywhere, it just stayed huge, and I had comments, a few comments, are you still pregnant? One person who thought I hadn't had the baby yet, even though I was pushing around a newborn buggy, which we think would give it away. And one person who was like, are you pregnant again? And I was like, no, I just still am left with this huge tummy after having Evelina. And those are the people who said something, and I'm sure there was lots of other people who thought something and didn't see it, but I also didn't feel under a pressure to snap back. I actually felt under a pressure almost the opposite way, which was like, I had snapped back with Finn. I didn't snap back, but I had done a really strict diet and exercise regime from the minute he was born, because I really wanted to get back into a thinner size straight away and not let my weight affect my mental health, because it really does with me. It makes me feel very negative about anything, or actually what it doesn't make me feel negative, but anything bad that happens externally, I think it's because of my weight. I don't know why, I sort of go on this self-attack, and I'm like, it's because I'm overweight, and I get really low on myself, even though actually what I'm angry or upset about is something totally different. It's just really weird. Like, please let me know if you feel like that as well, because trying to explain it is a bit personal, but yeah, so if I'm upset about something, I will, rather than deal with that thing, I'll just sit and feel depressed about how I look or that. So that's really weird. And but I was getting on with things. I was you know, it was very full on having the 3 kids, and Evelina was a colicky baby, and I was still determined to get in front of the camera, to be in pictures with her, because she was my last baby, and I'd let my weight affect me not getting in the picture enough with my little ones before, because I was like, I don't know the way I look in that picture, I'm not going to be in it, and I really didn't want to make that mistake again. And I also was talking a lot about body positivity with channel Mum, which is another YouTube channel that I vlog for, and they've got a big website. They do a lot of like great content for mums, and they asked me to be part of their body positivity discussion, which, to be honest, I was a little bit insulted by because I hadn't raised my hand to be in that video, and they asked me to be in it, and I was a bit like, wow, maybe I look great under my clothes, but you know, I didn't. But actually it did resonate how I was feeling at the time, and it made me feel good about that side of my body. I was embarrassed, and I think what it did as well is it just kind of makes you feel comparatively, put yourself in a lower level, your opinion of yourself goes down, and rather than thinking of myself as an attractive person that maybe people would like because they thought I looked nice, thought my hair was nice, thought I wore nice clothes, I put myself into this other camp of kind of like, well, I'm out of that game now. Like, I used to be attractive, I used to be pretty, and now I'm not anymore, and that's okay, because I'm left with 3 children and my husband adores me, and you know, I was just kind of, and I'm never gonna feel good about myself again physically, but I'm okay with that. And I'd almost, I guess, settled or accepted something that And I guess that's where a lot of us feel, particularly after kids, or particularly women as we're getting older. We kind of just feel like, well, I just have to accept that this is just how I am now. I hear so many women, I haven't been that size since I was 20, or never since before kids. But actually, what's amazed me is that I have lost way more than I thought I could lose. So that's how I was feeling before. Then a few things happened last year. One was that we moved house to a new area, and I think I just got this real, almost like an identity crisis of, I thought it was going to be a friendlier place, and I thought I was going to make friends easily because I'm a very friendly, like, chatty person, which is why I do this kind of YouTube and things, because I genuinely like chatting and meeting people, and I'm very open to people, I think. But no one spoke to me, no one said hi to me. I felt extremely lonely and extremely regretful of the move, and I had this paranoia in my head. I kept thinking, what would people describe me as if they met me now? And feeling that sense of acceptance suddenly had turned into, I accepted it because I'd known people that knew that wasn't me before, and I don't know, but I didn't like the idea that, I just kept thinking people who meet me now would maybe describe me as that chubby one. Or that big girl, and that kind of just really played in my mind, I think, because I didn't know anybody, and you really start thinking about what impression people get of you, and I just didn't like that at all. And I also felt myself just thinking of totally giving up. And I think before, I'd always lived in a really nice part of London, and it was very zhuzhy, and I still would wear nice clothes and felt like do my hair nicely, do my makeup nicely, because I had these friends who I'd known forever, and this was now a new weight, but nothing else had changed about me. But not knowing anybody, I found myself thinking, well, there's no point brushing my hair to go to school because no one's gonna say hi to me anyway. No one knew what I looked like before, so what's the point of putting makeup on? I may as well just be this overweight and not bothering person. And I really started to feel like that, because it's very difficult going from walking on a school run and walking around town, people saying hi to you, people knowing you, to literally walking around and feeling totally isolated, and you know no one's gonna ring you, your phone stops going. Like I used to get texts, you know, come round or whatever, and nothing. And it was a really sad time for a lot of those reasons. Just not having friends and having a young family was just much harder than I thought it was going to be. My husband obviously going off to work, and I just felt like lifted out of a life, thrown into another one, while I was not looking how I was happy with. And I could tell that my body image went really bad. Like I didn't ever want to look in the mirror at myself, and I used to do my makeup stood to the edge, putting my face in and kind of just doing a bit at a time. And I would go shopping for clothes, pop in and buy bits and bobs. I remember when we moved here, I bought a size 14 pair of trousers. I think I didn't actually, I bought a size 16. I tried on the 14, it didn't fit, so I had the 16, and it was like a deep breath moment. And then I went on this like YouTube event, and I didn't feel on the day that I looked bad, and I was happy chatting to everybody. I felt like I was bigger than everybody else, but I didn't let that make me feel bad. I just had this sense of, well, I'm not like them, I'm a different type of person. But afterwards, when I got the photos through and I was excited to post the pictures, like look at me and my friends, and I couldn't post any of them because I realised that I stood side by side to them, I just hated the photos, most of them, and I couldn't post them, and that was really sad. And then Evelina got sick, my daughter got sick right after that event. She went into hospital with suspected meningitis, done lots of videos about that. And I think it triggered something in me that was just a sense of, I'm not going to, I don't know, when I got out I felt elated, and I also felt I wanted control of something, and I wanted to take control of my weight. I wanted to negate food from my life and this kind of way I was eating, which was getting tired, eating sugar, feeling stressed, eating more in the evening. And I was kind of just I wasn't enjoying my food, I was just kind of like almost like self-regulating these weird energy levels through food, and feeling a bit like effort with company, so kind of, you know, not being invited anywhere, so just kind of eating. It wasn't like I was going to Starbucks with a friend and we were enjoying ourselves. I was just with my kids having something for the sake of it. And I don't know, I just wasn't enjoying food. I felt out of control in my life. I felt like things had really changed, and it had put me into this negative spin cycle. And actually a few people asked me, like a couple of people asked me if I had postnatal depression or something, because I was really tearful if I talked about things. But I know I didn't have postnatal depression, but I was sad. And a lot of you guys who follow me have said you've seen how much happier I am afterwards. I don't know how much that is to do with my weight. I think that was a lot to do with the sadness of the move and a lot of other things, and feeling negative about myself within the move. So I decided to start the Cambridge Weight Plan. My mum had just trained as a Cambridge Weight Plan consultant, so it was easy for me to get the stuff from her. And I liked it because it basically was just meal replacement products, and I'll link a video below which I go into much more detail about how to do the Cambridge Weight Plan. And the weight just started to go right away, like straight away. My face slimmed down, my eyes looked brighter because of all the water I was drinking and because of all the stuff I wasn't putting in my body, like alcohol or sugar and so much caffeine to keep going. And I started to feel my energy lift up. And then the weight loss obviously just starts to make you feel very much more in control, and also just proud, a sense of pride that I had done something for myself, by myself, just that. And you know, we had moments where like friends would kind of take the mick out of me a little bit, because if friends came round, I was like, no, I'm not drinking, I'm making my own little meal. And people were just like, oh, that's funny, but never like that was it. That was like the end of the conversation. I remember really clearly saying to Henrik, one of my friends, oh, you won't be laughing when I'm like a size 8. And we were like, ha ha, like it was a big laugh because I was like a size 16, and now I've got some size 8 clothes. So that amazes me. So overall, the weight plan, as I said, I'll link below. So I wanted to more talk about the emotional side of it, but I have lost in total now 3 stone, which is 42 pounds. And I've done that in like 3.5 months. And mainly because in March, which is this month, I've had a few weekends off because I was basically like had my birthday and had a birthday party. Then I had a night away with my husband, and then I had my son's birthday, and I didn't eat then or anything. But yeah, so slowed down a little bit at the end. But yeah, I couldn't believe that I hit 3 stone weight loss. Like I didn't even aim to lose 3 stone. I didn't even really realise I had 3 stone to lose because I never weighed myself. I just always emailed my mum my loss, and I would just text her a picture of the scales with the kilos on, which I don't understand, and she would text me back how much I'd lost in pounds, which I do understand, rather than knowing how much I weighed. So now I kind of guess I feel I just feel really proud of myself. That's the main thing I feel, because I don't think I've quite caught up in terms of feeling really good when I look in the mirror. I do feel good when I look in the mirror now, and I can look at myself and feel like, oh, I feel like if people met me now, I'd be that attractive mum with 3 kids, like, or like that mum like, oh, she doesn't look like she's got 3 kids, or I look younger and all this stuff. And I feel more able to play around with clothes that I actually like, and I feel like I suddenly am yeah, just a better version of myself. I've gone back to driving, which I hadn't driven in 10 years, and I got the courage after I'd lost a stone to book driving lessons, and now I'm driving the kids around, and that has made the biggest difference to my life. I've made new friends, meeting up with people a lot more, which I probably would have done anyway over the time, but it's probably helped that I feel more confident in meeting up with them. And I've got Evelina sleeping, was much more strict about that, just able to feel once I'd controlled one thing in my life, which was my eating, I could control other things and prove to myself that I don't need to settle for anything in my life, and that I deserve all the good things, and there's nothing stopping me. Just starting was what was stopping me. Just starting, just doing it. There was nothing that was out of my reach. I could just put my goal anywhere and get there. So it just was more of a psychological journey, I guess, than a weight one, but that's how it's been for me. And yeah, hopefully you can relate to that. As I said, it's very personal and awkward. I'm going to put in lots of pictures of the before and after, and yeah, just now the plan is to kind of just stabilize now and figure out how to maintain the weight loss. I mean, there's never any way I'm going to put back on 3 whole stone. I'm not having any more babies. I've also taken control and got the contraceptive implant, which is another thing we've talked about for years, doing obviously in between the kids. Never had the guts to do it, and I think now I've just got this overall, if I think something, I can do it. If I would like to do that, of course I can do that. Why wouldn't I be able to do that? Because I've proven to myself that I can do something which is kind of, I thought was forever beyond my grasp. So thanks so much for watching. If you do relate to this, I would love you to let me know in the comments below, because I do love chatting and I do love replying to every single comment I get left on YouTube. Do hit subscribe to follow along, and the little bell for a notification of the next videos I post, which I will go into more detail about what I'm eating now, and obviously continuing on to how this kind of carries on and how it keeps changing my life, I guess. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all very soon, I hope, and take care.